So I have discovered that there are object show visual novels. Today we are going to play some and see what we have been all missing out on. Let's see what we have ourselves in store. I have not played this. This is called One Last Time. It is created, I think, by somebody called Icy, but I haven't done much research just to go in completely blind here at the turn. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, we're like loading the game. This is an interesting cutscene. Okay, alright. Alright, here we go. One last time. This game's so loud. Okay, let's see. Options. Yes, can I beg. Nothing against it, it's just loud. Okay, I think this is manageable. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay. Other than that, we're gonna keep everything default. Here we go. One last time. Begin. No idea what this is. Whoa. 48. Okay. Well, let's see. First days. Shadow contains only the following: very mild language. Late summer 1994. Do I wonder? There's a voice volume. Is this voice acted? I have no idea. No. The treble of the ceiling fan spun lazily above the cafe. A radio was nearby on the counter, humming out a tinny pop song only kids would have recognized. Whether or not most of the noise came from forks clinking and morning conversations droning, amidst all of this, two men sat by the window, mugs in hand. One of them rattled a newspaper until it spread flat on the table. The headline given was weirdly small, buried below the fold. A local college student killed in train accident in Ovenbrook. Poor kid in some... Okay, this is a guy one. Poor kid in some small town near here got hit by a train. One muttered, skimming a few lines. Where those delinquents? Must be, yeah. The other hummed, sipping his burnt coffee. Kids in their recklessness. Shame, but I hope they rest well. The newspaper owner eventually flipped to the sports section, the accident already sliding out of the conversation. By the time the waitress refilled their drinks, they were simply discussing about the NBA Finals with the Knicks, or whatever was left through the noisy ambience. How generous was it for only 3 short paragraphs written and no photo attached? No mention of what the kid liked, who he loved, what he wanted to be, or anything. All the publishers cared were basic details, and all contained in a tight section. The headline regarding the kid was reduced to another scrap of yesterday's print, faster than their coffee cooling down. Alongside other unrelated, trivial news in the paper, somewhere, just outside the frame of their lives between the talk, that kid's name still echoed through the masses who knew him. Here, they were practically nothing but a stranger as the world kept its speed. Okay, do we take this breather? I need to find a moment where I can talk. Alright. Okay, we've got a thing going on. Interesting. I'm very curious, who's the protagonist here? It seems like it's somebody who doesn't know about this person. I don't think we're connected, but we'll see. Let's see. It's hard to disregard the talent. The talent to transform me into a statistical unit in a blink. Wait, are you the kid? Wait, hold on. Hold on. Labels don't bother me much, but calling me just a college student and reducing me to a ticker? Wait, you're the dead kid. Oh my god. I can excuse how our empathy is near fragility and exhaustion without the time to settle into responsibility. Yet sometimes, maybe a breather is all we need to realize. It wasn't just that, but a person with a life. A hell of a one at that. Oh well, used to. Fortunately, my journey wasn't all just black ink. In fact, I could rewind it all back to where and when to where and when it life took uh whatever. To where and when life took me for a turn. I will correct the spell checker, okay? Page 1, first days. This is like a rewind from okay. So one last time. Okay, I see what's happening. I see. My vision snapped back into softer, warmer morning light. I was stock still, but the world outside apparently could not agree. Outside rode in a slow blur of cracked streets, shops, passerbys, cars, and thick trees half buried under the early golden dawn of summer. Mom was behind the wheel, tapping it with her fingers in a little rhythm as her Chevy hummed along. She would do this plenty whenever the silence made her nervous. You excited, sweetheart? Her voice remained in a soft cadence, never more if she knew the answer already. I was slouched in the back seat, looking out the side window beyond the trees as my backpack rested on me. Not as in a lazy slump, but because my head was near to touching the top. I was not small, even comparable with my mom herself. That's a lot considering she's already pretty tall for a woman with her appearance. Seems more new word. Word I do not recognize. Seems more sinecure in my eyes though. Sinecure? Sinecure? What is that? Right, already getting carried away. Returning, my brain has basically drawn blank. Okay, we got shoes for the first time. How are we doing? What do you think? Are we excited? This fella seems like they're kind of sarcastic, so we're gonna go with yeah, totally. Shouldn't be that scary. Cleo. Apprehensively, I laughed, regardless if it came out hollow. Once my mouth finished moving, Mom did not push immediately. I knew she knew better. She kept drumming and humming innocently and gently to the radio, buzzing with faint blues rock. Couldn't move on from your generation, can't you? We passed through the familiar Central Park downtown had to offer, and other notable places I could pinpoint. The theater is one, then the ice cream parlor, then the hardware store, some cafes, and a comic book store squished in between. Assuming our car here was riding about 35 miles per hour, I counted each building's gap into 0.6 seconds, so approximately 9 meters maximum. Oh, okay, bro. In conclusion, this street zoned really inefficiently. What? I'm doing it again, aren't I? Anything I lay interest on, my brain goes rogue in abridged terms. Okay. So you're like easily distracted. Hard to deny they were the same old things I saw oftentimes since childhood. For now, I find it hard imagining myself in a new town, away from familiarity. Okay, so we've moved. We're learning some details. After a while, she poked the bear again. Got any plans, clubs, sports, or anything? You look kind of worried. The words tasted weird on my tongue. The reminder wasn't bogus, but just very strange. I could dabble with basketball, or maybe track. Mom beamed a little wider this time, catching my eye in the rearview mirror. Well, you sure can be quick on your feet, but are you certain? They got me locked in hesitation, because deep down, I was far from prepared. I could recall my elementary days, perhaps a bit of middle school. All I could mutter was, being more gifted than everyone else sure made me quite the punching bag. I'm shocked I even go far surviving locker incidents, slips and trips, and a package of notes stuffed in anything I own. So maybe, just maybe, if I ran fast enough, jumped high enough, and put us a less square persona, high school could be different, right? I am. After a quick snap to reality, the morning glow returned. Okay, what's going on? Alright. Now, here we're gonna... This is a live example of the fact my media literacy is cooked. But... okay, so... We've, like, moved out. There's an interesting kind of, like, feeling where we didn't really like our school days, but we liked our hometown, right? And moving has been kind of weird. We're worried, right? It feels like an opportunity, but at the same time, we're worried about how things back then weren't too great, right? And the mom's also worried. Okay, I see. Mom nodded attentively, albeit only the extended silence and tone was what she worked with. After riding along the main road for a while and taking a quick corner, our car rolled up against the curb. The curb, to be exact. That's right in front of the school grounds. Hello? This huge campus was expectantly alive, especially with school year back up and running. Teens milled around, laughing, shouting, and shoving each other in a weird, half-friendly, half-awkward way. Out front, there was this large fountain over the expansive, open concrete forming the hangout area. Brick and iron fencing lined the front, adorned with neat bushes and planters clinging to life despite summer already doing nightmares on our temperatures. Streamers and banners flapped above, flapped above the main wing on the front grounds, all big, bold, and artificially cheerful. I'm not easy to brainwash with propaganda, luckily. Okay. This bro has an attitude. Absolutely. Mom placed the car in the park, but before I motioned to unlock the door, she called me. Cleo, hun. Their hands were off to the side, with a lowered voice, choosing every word carefully as if she didn't want to offend. Instinctively, I glanced over, where she came another one of her soft, worried smiles whenever I began stepping into something she's worried for. You, be careful, okay? Stay safe. Watch who you hang around. Trust your gut. And tell me if anyone or anything bothers you, okay? I appreciate it. Right? Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks, Mom, but trust me, I'm mature and aware enough to know. I reassured civilly, slinging my backpack on in a heartbeat. Her eyes were not wavering at all. Cleo, just promise me. Fine, I promise, from the bottom of my heart. I wasn't irritated, but more startled by its warmth in an odd way. At least I spotted a soft giggle emitting out of her. With a swift tap, I unlocked the left door in a click. Stepping out of her, the music is loud again. No, it's fun. With a swift tap, I unlocked the left door in a click. Stepping out of her car and feeling the radiating warmth frying me underneath. The sounds of Brick High flooded into me instantly. Thousands of voices and scraping footsteps buzzed from 100 different objects poking around the ground, with complementary abnormal gusts of strong crosswind toward east-southeast. Ironic when I'm an electric fan. There's the knowledge. I stood like a statue, adjusting my bag straps and checking my watch before minding a step forward, my heart hammering stupidly fast. Outside wasn't harsh cold, but more on that fake cold where the air pretends to bite when it barely reaches 14 degrees Celsius. No matter how uneven it was, I stood my ground, pondering at the entrance. Big brick building, big bright decor, big bushy bushes, and too many judgmental strangers. Alright, just breathe, Cleo. Just breathe. Well, Godspeed myself. Out of the quickest solace on myself, I pushed toward the doors, slipping into the flow of the rushing students clicking along the ground. When push comes to shove, I reached my arm out, and I was in. The main hall stretched out at an expanse, lined with cream brick texture and wax gray flooring for all of its personality. Okay, art's good, by the way. haven't noted it, because there haven't been like that many options. But yeah, okay. I see where this is going. It's an interesting general concept. I mean, this would be super early, right? I mean, we saw how many things there are. I'm not sure where this demo actually expands to. That's a great question. I have no idea. But currently we do seem to be, you know, to be working with it. But the art's cool. I'm liking it. It's all aesthetic. The assets themselves and the characters are pretty cool. There's not a lot of it to be out right now, you know, like it's like there's quite a while before we see much of a change, but like on average we're also not at the scene where we're necessarily got somebody directly onto us, right? So we'll see. Left led to offices and hallways, right led to restrooms and more hallways, and straight ahead led to a stairwell, which I assume probably more hallways. Tall red lockers sat by the walls, with numbers of assorted doors engraved at any side. Interesting stylization. Like, look at these lockers. You see how they're stylized? Kind of interesting. And now, this is a weird styling. Because they're like, what? they're like going inward. They're like locking the door. Like you cannot tell me you can pass through this. You cannot do that. But alright. Each one looked thick enough to double as a fallout shelter too, in case Regan sneezed wrong too. Every surface was dotted with hints of smudge prints and doodles imprinted firmly. I didn't, nor could expect what this place is about to bring, but everything's produce fresh in my eyes. Despite the harsh welcome amidst the warm lighting, things could start brightening up here. Maybe. While I was entranced in my own inner monologue, a distant bell suddenly blared through the hallway air, jumping me about a foot. The easygoing chaos exploded around me as a few students scrambled through the space, shouting and cheering each other. Locker doors were slammed and supplies were clutched like a war was about to commence before I had time to react. I knew the drill far too well. It's class time right on the dot. Normalcy was expected currency, I suppose, and had exact change for none of it. I did my best, vaguely placing the homeroom where our class's assembly is set to be held. Room 135 it is. Sick. But now? Where the hell is room 135? Look at this! I like this asset. And you see it's stylized. It's got this kind of fuzziness, if that makes sense. Like you see it's kind of fuzzy. I like it. Okay, where is room 135? Am I supposed to know? Okay, well the corkboard won't have the rooms. But we don't know. I mean, you would check a room and then follow the number. But I want to check the corkboard because I want to know what the events are. So I'm going to do that. I don't care. I moseyed over the corkboard near an office, plastered with various flyers for sign-ups and events. After scanning through, my eyes landed on a convenient small map of the entire school layout near the top. Alright, room 135, room 135. Come on, focus. Ooh, cool. Blushing. After minutes of drifting, I got in. Straight ahead, then right, straight again, should be by the left side of the hall. Cool. Now I shouldn't look like a lost puppy in this maze. Alright, so that was the good plan. Alright, I didn't even want to know it. I just wanted to see if there's any cool... Okay, so straight ahead and then right. I'm trying to do it correctly, okay? I don't want to just troll for now. Alright, look, I'm trying to give you an accurate visual representation. There is that inner thought where it's like, what if I just troll and randomly climb the stairs? But no. Another warm, colorful hallway drowned by the clatter of students and trash. How charming. Oh, whoops. Oh, scroll wheel's back in front. Oh, didn't know that. Okay, so I was right. But I want to check. No, I'm gonna check the surround. Okay, we need to know. We need to know. We need to learn. We're moving, but we need to check. Okay. Maybe it's around here. No, it's not around. No. Cleo, you're not getting me, Cleo. You're not getting me. You're just supposed to check out the place. Okay, you're not. This isn't where room 135 is. I tried glancing across the space in search for room 135. As quick as I began, nothing significant turned up. Okay, so I was right. Caution, wet floor. Crossroads, my one of many weaknesses. I think it was right on, right? Because it was straight right? Was that what happened? Straight. Nothing new or remarkable came in this hall, but according to my gut, I'm not open to venturing too far as a newbie transferee. Beyond, there are probably just more irrelevant hallways anyways, so I'm stopping my tracks here. Curse me on my conduct. What? Wait, hold on. There are more just irrelevant hallways, so I'm stopping my tracks here. Was this not where 135 is? Was it not? Hold on, maybe I have bad brain. So maybe it's like 135. I thought it was right on... Wait, it was forward right. I thought that was what it was, but okay, I guess not. Check the doors. I peered at the doors lining this hall, looking for any sign of room 135. Looks like another dead end. Wait, hold on. I spotted a paper sign taped just on a door's window. Room 135's window. Welcome, freshmen. Assembly here. Alright. Okay. Oh, good heavens. Glad I still had hidden intelligence to check that corkboard. Might be screwed. I let out a quick exhalation of relief as I ducked inside, slipping into the edge of the classroom. Hold on. Why is room 135 the only room to have a number? Cause like that's what I would do. No, cause the strat is look at a number and then follow the number trail. Right? This is way easier. But alright. Right on time too, somehow. Inside, it was roomier. What? And a little more blinding than my liking. My eyes first laid upon the rows of desk chairs and uniform columns before me, half filled with faces I couldn't grasp any memories with. Some were casually conversing and chuckling to fill the dead room, as if they'd been lifelong friends. Could even spot some people what? Could even spot... Huh? Could even spot some people person on one side, racking up quite a group. Okay. And those weren't just slumped nonchalantly in their seats, grazing over magazines or enjoying their Walkmans. I didn't need one. Books are my only music to my eyes, I guess. Behind the people occupying it, this room was sterile despite the warm fluorescent lighting and motes of dust drifting through the air. I'm sorry if I'm bad at reading. I don't know. I've not done a lot of visual novel gameplays before. In fact, I've done 0 of them, so, Still impressively spacious given its wide window letting the morning sun cook us. As I made my way undetected, I grabbed some clues throughout this place. From the grammar and motivational posters on the walls, to the hundreds of novels and textbooks stacked on the back shelves. It's fair to assume that room 135 is the English classroom. Interesting signs. Again, there's a lot of details here with the designs going on. I like this poster, right? There's some cool stuff over here. No chewing gum pass required. Yeah, I like it. There's some attention to detail here. Of course, why wouldn't it be? Nevertheless, I found myself an empty, unlit seat near the back, away from all the commotion, before settling my bag down beside me. Didn't want to attract attention already by being a show-off. I had not a single contact in all this class. That's to be expected. Oh boy. So here I was, counting down the deafening minutes as I tapped my foot nervously. Just me, myself, and I in this corner. Okay. I was wondering if there's just a mysterious point and click. Nah. After an eternity, the door slammed open without warning before an adult lady strode in, confident in demeanor. Ooh. Ooh, hello. It's hard mistaking she's a beau of some kind, way shorter than Mom, and accessories on like she's trying to blend in class instead of leading it. This is a wonderful design. Look at this. Oh, that's great. That's a 10 out of 10. Especially those large pink glasses with added chains, framing her more stylishly and maternally. Yeah, trying to fit in. By the way, isn't this interesting? You could put like a sticker on yourself. Isn't that weird? Like that. Like think about it. Hold on for a minute. Think about it. Imagine putting a sticker on your skin. That not weird. That's kind of. I know that it's obvious that it doesn't matter, but it's kind of interesting to think about, no? But anyways, bet she's at her late 20s at best. She stood in front, right in the center of the blackboard. With a swift stomp, the buzzing class silenced instantly under her command. Wind. There's a wind sound. You can't hear it. I made it too quiet, but... Can you hear that? Interesting. Sound effects. Okay, anyways, let's get back onto it. Obviously, once the bigger head enters. Good morning, my lovely students. She boomed cheerfully in a tone the campus totally made her rehearse more than my motivation could conjure. Music? Okay. There's some tracks and stuff. Anyways. There were murmurs of soft greetings and casual hellos rippling through the room, as if everyone knew her well. I also mumbled something back, but it's no use stating when most of it got swallowed by the noise instead. The teach continued, clearing her throat. Dude, this is very designed. I mean, look, there's all bracelets on there as well. We are glad all of you chose Ovenbrook High in your academic journey. I truly appreciate each and everyone's presence here. Pretty sure chose is doing a lot of the heavy lifting there, but whatever. Anyways, I am Miss Morgan, and I will be your homeroom teacher for 9th grade. My room is 135, as you kids now, and I will be teaching English for my subject. Make sure to attend every morning, and don't be late. The entire class, me included, groaned at that last part. Still, we nodded along so he wouldn't upset her already. I'm a natural early bird anyhow, but being told specifically to be on time stung a little in my back. What? I mean, I guess immediately being told to be on time, like the first thing is kind of weird, right? But like at the same time, it's like, that is the rules, you know? I mean, like being told to be on time, okay, whatever. Let us start with a quick roll call, just to test everyone's punctuality. She took a clipboard from the desk, assumingly where our names were kept. Okay, Morgan's here. Indeed, Carol Morgan. Okay. Our attendances then started shortly after, with a line of unfamiliar names called out one by one, while a degree of voices answered back. Jason, Graham, Fia, Renzo, as much as the list can hold it. As I wait on this whole ordeal, I take a brisk moment to reflect. How do I feel with this? I mean, first day, new town, first day, new people that some people know, but don't know anybody. I feel like at the end of the day, this is a lot, right? It's a lot, you know. It's a new experience. It's a new setting. It would be a new experience, but it's a new experience in a new place, a new situation, right? With kind of little details that we're picking up here and there. Completely not knowing. It's a lot. It's all exhausting. There's no other phrase that fits it better. At the end, I remain a stranger intimidated by the school I found myself in. What if I don't fit in? Do I have to reinvent myself again? Huh? What if I fall behind in classwork too? What would my parents think? Don't even get me started on love life. If I could, I might poof back on my bed so I won't catastrophize. Is that a word? You see, you can tell I don't play visual novel. Catastrophize? That can't be real. Okay, fair enough. Oh well, maybe when hell freezes over. I sunk deeper in my desk to stay imperceptible while I stay in my own world. Seems like I failed regardless when I heard my name pierce through. Cleo? Spirit? Well, thank you for the options. Yes. Oh, sorry, I skipped the text. I'm Cleo Spirit. I'm 13, I live by East Croydon, and I like reading. I stood straight up unthinkingly, my throat hanging there drier than the Sahara. Shit stains. I forgot it's just a roll call. Oh, we appreciate the introduction, Mr. Spirit. However, this is only homeroom, not advisory. Just announce yourself present. That's reserved for subject classes. Reassuring response, ignoring how I'm being stared down by a million burning eyes right now. My height only made me more conspicuous. Yes, present. Yeah, I like the art style a lot for this. This is cute. My legs wobbled near the end under the sharp, buzzing light as someone tapped a pencil. It would have been over if it weren't for the sudden snickering and whispering I monitored from behind. Not even impolite laughter, but worse, easy-going laughter. And I thought you were the Four Eyes. One half cackled, making me caress my glasses naturally. Cleo, sit down. Sit down! What is this, a job interview? Try hard. Huh, what a tool. The mockery kept coming like I already made personal vendettas. All I did was nod excessively and apologize. Maybe twice. I kept the grin plastered, because isn't that how you show composure amidst crisis, right? My legs folded back to sit down in submission, hoping my lack of eye contact on them would drown it all out. I could tell it was heating up from shame, too. Miss Morgan slammed a heavy hand on her desk, silencing the room once more. Enough! Let's keep it civil, folks. Our high school prides itself on respect and kindness, so if this kid's honest mistake was that hilarious, surely our lovely principal can join in on the fun, too. The laughter died obediently, fading into uneasy shuffles and coughs. She probably only wanted the disruption to stop, making me look like some suck-up now. It's mortifying, but I'm nonetheless grateful. Not a great start for a fella here. I'm not gonna lie. It's not a great first impression. I wonder if, I mean, no, but there was only one option on that prompt. Yeah, no, I was cooked from the get. We were cooked. There was nothing saving us here. The rest of the assembly winded. No, I mean, I guess there might have been some saving. Because if I said that, because, like, I did say that it's a law, so he sunk back in her chair. So maybe there was a survival tactic there. But, you know, no, I guess not. Not in this case. The rest of the assembly winded past me, consisting of our teacher checking our assigned classes and explaining locker use, bells, and basic regulation. Meanwhile, I nailed my head down to avoid any more unwanted attention. I focused on the towel patterns on the floor, counting the individual scratches and dents sustained over time. Exactly basic ceramic tiles with a silica glaze. No way this school was splurged on pure porcelain. Okay, you're doing it again. But yeah, you get my point. You're doing it. This is okay. This feels important. This feels important. You get kind of sidetracked, right? Which, you know. I mean, of course, I'm sorry, but the thing that immediately springs out to my mind is, like, of course, we're telling a tale pre-death, so you're kind of trying to figure out what might have possibly caused it, right? As you expect, I'm normally a note taker, but after what happened, my brain can only register a wall of white noise. Maybe the bell will save me, or someone burns the entire campus down. Just not high hopes. So now, I was nothing but a total goof. Homeroom would conclude with Mrs. Morgan reminding us about embracing the year with an open mind and striving for excellence, plus other minute details floating right over me. Hopefully they're not anything historians underline in red in 50 years. By the time the bell gave his word, everyone bolted for the door the second they could. A stampede of footsteps echoed through the halls, while the only echoes for me came from the nerve-wracking insecurity I'm developing. I pulled myself out of my chair unsteadily, and somehow already found myself in the hallway, surrounded by swarms of students. Everything emerged in noise and motion, but what I had in mind were my classmates' sinister grins and whispers I couldn't wipe off. Great starting impression, airhead. Ugh. I'm never opening my mouth ever again. Ah! Are you good? My G, you get beat up. What the fuck? My absent-mindedness ringed me for a while after collision. Whoever bumped me, their belongings sure hit the floor hard, with sharp clicks of plastic thumping before skidding to a halt. My bag's intact behind me, but my head's as good as an earthquake. Something also flew clean off my face and landed with a sad little clink on the tile. My glasses. Crap. I must go blind without them. I fumbled around for my specs, my vision similar to a messy Renaissance painting. Hey! A feminine voice squeaked, sounding quick, angelic, and perhaps breathless, all at once. Eek! I'm trying to read. Do I get to see it? Eek! I'm really, really sorry. Wait. Before I could continue any further, I felt a gentle hand tug my arm lightly. Let me get him for you, sure? The hands doubled over mine, steadying me up and brushing dust off me like it mattered. When my glasses were finally in my grasp, I slid them back on and blinked a few times to adjust. I glanced on him and watched for any cracks sustained, auspiciously zero, before finally taking a stable scan of her shape. Hello. Hopeful music dropped. The person in question was a pink abstract notebook, just slightly shorter than me, with stickers across her cover, and pairs of colorful slap bracelets and beads sporting both arms. You could tell that this is a relevant character, because music has started playing. She wasn't an adult, fortunately, probably even my age and grade. She isn't mad or even crying, but she stared at me with whole curiosity. Oh, thing at the top right? That's the backpack, okay. No, that's her bag. Never mind. Behind her, her pastel bag sat on the floor, all of its contents spilled out. Her books, pens, and pencils, trapper keepers, and other knickknacks were all strewn about the floor. They're neglected, however. Her eyes locked right on me. This is how my journey starts? Then might as well re-enroll in New York's IHP classes. What would you do? You would, probably apologize again. I'm trying to be realistic. I think the realistic answer here is to apologize again. You'll pull like 4 times in the classroom, so we're gonna go with that. Okay, crap, I'm so sorry for bumping into you. I bowed my head slightly, feeling awful for the accident. Yeah, she countered with more frantic apologies of her own. Butterfingers, are you okay? Did I break anything? What's the damage? Should I pay for insurance or something? She looked so distraught, practically forgetting if I really sustained any injuries in her eyes. I was caught right in its crossroads, unsure what to fire. No, it's fine. It's all fine. You didn't do anything wrong. She glanced at me, wondering if I was serious or not. Interesting styling. Okay, by the way, this is interesting, because it implies that the styling between the characters isn't necessarily consistent. Because you see how this character has the underside of the eye being colored, but like Theo and the teacher didn't have that. So that's kind of interesting. Characters can have like different kind of stylings. Okay, cool, good to know. But then she sighed, and a little smile crept at the corner of her mouth. Not at my stuttering response, but the situation itself. Oh, phew, you scared me. Be more observant next time, yeah? She snapped a finger gun at me, winking. I giggled nervously alongside her, feeling a bit relieved she wasn't flooding guilt anymore. Holy crap, I just had a conversation this far! I should celebrate or something. Hey, wait, you're the transferee, right? Cleo's spirit? She pointed out without hesitation, raising my attention. Oh, yeah? I was too disconcerted to deny, just nodding after my stammer. I expected even more ridicule, but surprisingly, she brightened up. Knew it! Your name sounds super sick! I made quiet hums of acknowledgement, my heart dropping in weight. Oh, thanks, I guess. Bro, are you a ghost? 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 Like, can you pass through walls and stuff? Can you communicate with other spirits? Come on, that sounding's gotta mean something. There's nothing, really. I scratched the back of my head, gauchily. Gauchily? My throat tightening up again. Quite the natural enthusiast, huh? Aw, that's lame. She pouted, before brightening up again. You do remind me of someone, though. I paused, curious myself. Someone? Yeah, I knew he was since middle school. Pretty quiet guy, maybe a little edgy too. He's studying here, by the way, in my grade even. Oh, you two can work something out when I introduce him. I rolled my eyes internally, but nodded along. What are the odds, though? Is he in 9th grade? Because I'm in 9th too. Oh my good gosh, same! We can be grade buddies! She beamed, clearly excited by the coincidence. I was too stunned to respond, so I gave a small, awkward smile. For once, though, this didn't feel like the weird or infamous kind of attention. Just attention. Oh, there's dot. Okay, this is interesting. I see dynamics that are happening. Alright. Let's see though. Just as he jinxed it, before I could even conjure anything else as a response, someone else came jogging down the hall, rounding the corner swiftly. I had to take a good focus to catch them. What in the world? Like a compass. A smaller figure weaved through the clusters of students like it was trying desperately hard to remain unnoticed. He appeared as a small, grey stopwatch with a big fat beanie encompassing most of his height. His eyes are so sleep-deprived, almost rivaling with a depressed factory worker's. At least the freckles make him less shaken. And to top with a cherry, he had a green backpack stuck behind him, alongside visible ragged patching. It's hard to blend in a crowd with that final roster. Then again, the subtlety died sometime last decade, so who is he to blame? Hello? Eventually, he skidded to a full stop next to the girl, his breathing a bit crisp. They were a clear night and day, even just standing beside one another. Okay, but you're also designed with the under eyes. Okay, you know, I don't know how anything works. That's interesting. Hey, class ready? Did something happen? He asked in a soft, shaky voice, which didn't sting bright in my head. He wasn't a native, most likely, but how impure he pronounced his words. So, he had clean, practiced casualness buried underneath, which didn't annoy me much. The goat waved him off with a grin, jumping in place with energy. Nothing, trust me. Just being as graceful as a newborn cow from Black Eyes, signed I. Put skates on me though, and I'm majestic. She laughed at her own remark, with the other guy following along, more nervously at that. Standing here was as close to third wheeling as possible. If only I backed away sooner, then he wouldn't have noticed my stature. Oh, His eye scanned across me tentatively, avoiding my sight directly like eye contact was some dangerous sport. He even hid a little behind her, rocking his heels back and forth. She wasn't lying, I somehow remind her of him. Oh, by the way, you should meet this goof I just found. Cleo. What was it again? Spirit. Cleo Spirit. Cleo Spirit. Cool name, isn't it? The person stood there awkwardly, attempting a hesitant smile as if that would lessen the air. I took it nonetheless, adjusting my glasses as I prepared for their introductions too. She lit up, a thought seemingly bubbling in her as she turned to me. Shit, forgot to present myself. Short name or full? Full? A small giggle would speak from her before she cleared her throat. Okay. What is this lock-in? Hiya, I'm Ari Clara Maradona Valencia. I barely caught half of that. Ami, what now? Alright, bro. You wanted the full name, so I gave it. Is this Amy or Ami? I want to say Ami. Yeah, I know. Way too long of a name. So if your brain's melting too much, just say Ami Maradona. Or better yet, Ami. I do have some friends calling me Ames, Amester, Aim, et al. My eyes widened further. Wow, and she's the one having trouble remembering my surname. Living for 14 years, and I really, really love photography. Oh, so that's what that camera is for. I shakily pointed to her littered bag, still ignored on the floor. In the thick of it, a large square box was prominently contrasting the tile. It was obvious being a camera. What? Yeah, it was obvious being a camera, with the chunky lens sticking straight out. It's squat and beigeish with a bright stripe of color running across its face like a badge. Nothing like the 35mm ones I've operated, bro. Well, barely operated. Her eyes traced my finger before immediately rushing to the mess. Crap, hold on. She cradled the camera into her hand, tidying her belongings back while adjusting one of her bracelets. She stuck her bag back on and returned to us two. Sorry, but yep, never letting go of my birthday gift. She giggled with contagious happiness. Ami then gave the guy, who I almost forgot existed, a gentle nudge with an elbow as a not-so-subtle your turn sort of motion. He quickly stiffened into a rock-hard sculpture, sweating. It's no pressure. I can always ask her over here. I wanted to offer an easy way out in case he was about to bolt. Silence. I never know if I'm supposed to do a thing. Okay, I'm not. Do you have a name? I don't think you have a name. Hello? This is a long waiting time even for visual novel. What is this? What is this real time? What is this real time stutter? Do I need to do something about this? No, I'm just gonna sit here. Even Ami's getting awkward. What the hell is going on? Hello? This cannot be a real conversation. Yeah, imagine that as a real situation. After a lengthy minute of standing here ungainly as others passed by, he finally fluttered his mouth. Jasper. Ah, cute name. He blushed at that statement, completely caught off guard. Aw, not a full one too. I think I'm fine with that. But of course, she had to push it into saying it otherwise. He muttered further. Jasper Schweigler-Zielinski. He enunciated those syllables flawlessly, his stutter practically disappearing at that piece. Huh, is that Polish? Part of it. It didn't really add much from there. A safe bet to back away while I had the chance. I'll be sticking with just Jasper though, thanks. Your age too, by the way. Come on, it's fine. No, I'm 15. 15? He's older than Ami with that precious height? And he's for some reason still the same grade with me? Huh. Seems like the reply fell short. Expectantly, however. Any more you want to push? I eyed the girl sternly, hands on my sides. Seems like she shook the memo when she glanced aside, scratching her back. Huh? Oh, no, not right now. Alright. I know the conversation could have steered away, but she then firmly clasped her hands into a ball, making both me and supposedly Jasper flinch a little. You know what, fellas? Wait, whoop. I felt her wrap around my back as she huddled us tightly into a tiny sports group. She just had the most wicked idea in the world, didn't she? Let's hang out sometime, alright? This is a good frame. I like this frame. I blinked at her. Jasper blinked at her. Huh? Hey, we'll get to know each other more. It'll be super cool. My face was heating up with a weird mix of panic and something else I couldn't place approximately. Hanging out? That hit my tongue uneasily. I mean, I'll try if I can. No promises. Jasper nodded along without anything major, more agreeing than thinking. He was still half-hiding behind her figure, nothing short with distancing himself. To be frank, my vertical length can be quite alarming, but if only I could convince him otherwise. She beamed in zero hesitation, like this was all predetermined. Oh crud, I'm tardy to class. She jolted and gasped. Reading! She jolted and gasped, adjusting that pastel gear behind her. I already told you. Eat! A small, soft squeak escaped his throat in protest. Next thing I knew, Ami was practically tugging him down the hallway like a kite on a windy day. Yet he didn't resist, and merely accepting his fate. See you some other time, Cleo. She waved with a free hand as she bounced throughout the space. Jasper gave me one last tiny glance before vanishing around the corner with her. And here I was again, left alone, as the crowd just so happens to dissipate with classes coming up. Don't you need to follow Ami too? I fixed my specs for the 1 millionth time to sip in what just happened. I just talked to 2 people. I just did. How did I pull that off? I just stood there, replaying it, as if the memory might evaporate if I didn't hold it still. 2 impressions and 2 entirely different energies. Okay. This is interesting. I mean, of course, this implies that you absolutely were not talking to people back in the other place, back in the other town. No, not at all. If you're this surprised by it. Hold on, I need to recollect everything to make sense. So first of all, there's Ami, more the star of the show. What? I'm interested she doesn't bother me, and hopefully not a wild card. I'm interested? That feels like the more correct answer. Cause I don't want, yeah, I feel like if somebody's random, you know, cause this guy, okay, alright, here's the thought, bro. This guy, right, like, he's like not talk to anybody, so he'd be pretty interested when somebody's directly coming up to him, right, because he's like, I'm not interesting, I'm like the really cool one, so I'm interested in somebody that's not despite me, so I'm interested. I'd be lying if she wasn't someone who could be buzzing with excitement every day. Unfortunately enough, I could see myself riding along it. She basically had no restriction, like a party animal. I can predict she listens to a lot of Madonna. Maybe she won't be too hassling until I find out about her more. Whatever, I thought so. We moved on to this more cryptic individual, Jasper. He does interest me in some manner, a little more than Ami, admittedly. I feel like he's chill, right? He radiates similar vibes. Like, adorable, I don't know, it's too, is that what this bro would say? Like, where do we want to go? I feel like he's chill, because adorable is kind of like, because he reminds you of yourself, right, in this case. So, saying adorable is like, I don't know, because, like, our fella here, Cleo, is not really that fond of yourself, So I don't think you're that fond of somebody who's looked at you. And quite too mysterious. I don't think so, because again, you don't like hate yourself either, right? So I think chill, because it's like, yo, you kind of like me vibes. That's what I'm gonna say. As much as how unexpected it is, his demeanor grabbed peculiarity from me. I can picture myself, just me and him, chilling on a bench, eating food we bought off a convenience store. Sure, he's inept in even maintaining eye contact, let alone hold a full sentence without embarrassment subduing him, but he seems like the type to show his truer side for select people. Maybe he's secretly like Ami, or just fun in their own right. Hard to pinpoint with barely an appearance. As long as he's not bothersome. At least I hope not. But overall, without their traits in mind, it was worth leaving. It wasn't grand or anything life-changing, kinda. But I didn't mess up. Not as much as how I dreaded it anyways. I was told intention I didn't even realize was there, like I expected failure by default. But I can safely say I'm a bit prouder of myself, but now sarcasm too. Whatever my brain sides on right now, I'm sure something's about to happen. Maybe I won't see them ever again. But you know what? I met people. My chest jaw comfortably to retract my initial statement earlier. Since I'm certain that high school, no matter the circumstances, it wasn't going to be a never repeating nightmare. And perhaps, I believe that's enough for today. What? Okay. Demo complete. There we go. There we go. And we get to save the game. Yes, save the game. Ooh, look at this. I mean, it's a pretty swag. Ooh, I can save it 6 times. Well, that's what we need. But yeah, this will turn to main menu. No. What are these buttons? History. Oh, it's all of the text. Yo, look at all this text, bro. All right. About. One last time. I just clicked on a link. What did I do? Okay. This program contains free software under a number of licenses, including the MIT. Yeah, okay, that's the software. Help. This is some things. Is there anything I didn't know? Because I didn't really check out anything. I was going to take a screenshot. Toggles assistive Salesforce. Oh, you can hide the interface. Oh, that's cool. I did not know that. I did not know you could do that. About help. Okay, this is cool. This is cool. That's all right. We had to return, I guess. And yeah, we got to go main menu. There you go. Okay, that is interesting. I mean, of course, when you're looking here, right, there's just so much stuff going on here. You know, that makes it a little bit complicated, and it's one of those where it's one of those visual novels where, like, you can tell, right, like, it's super slow burn, right, like, it would be of course the theoretical of its real existence, right, it would be extremely slow burn, and it's to the degree where it's like it starts off the conclusion, and it's like, how did we get here? And it takes a super slow burn, so like you really, but sort of like, you know, regardless of how much you're necessarily kind of into it, or how much you're into that type of story, like, you eventually just end up falling into it as well, right? And of course, it ends up making that complicated thing. It's that type of visual novel where it's like, I'm not gonna lie, there's parts of me that would probably just dodge it entirely out of the fact that I know that a completed version of this game would hurt, bro. It's like freaking Valentine's already here, because, like, you know, all of that story, and then like to leading into the dying, it's like, damn, bro. Power 48 tracks, the train tracks, like, you see, like, you can kind of, like, I mean, you can't necessarily, of course, guess, but there's a lot that you can kind of vibe with, you know, that you can imagine it could go in. So that would be scary. Of course, select the memory. Yeah, there's some interesting things. This would be Very emotionally compelling in its completitude. In terms of how it is, I'm not gonna be out here and be like visual novel reviewer for this game, because I mean, like, I'm not a visual novel reviewer. Right? Like, I'm gonna be for real. I am not a visual novel reviewer, and therefore I'm not playing many visual novels, and therefore I'm not the type of person to really, like, be able to compare and be like, oh, this writing was good, it wasn't good. I played it and it was fine. Right? I didn't have anything against it. I don't know if there's any, like, if any more pro gamers, any more pro visual novelers have got complaints, but I thought it was fine. But yeah, overall, that is interesting. That is cool. That is one last time. Alright. Also, as a bonus thing, which for some reason I didn't say through the entirety of the playthrough, Jasper is like 99.9% the intended relationship for Cleo over here. Like, come on. like that's definitely what we wanted, what we want to do. So that's the idea. But okay, next. Okay, this is entitled Short Story Show. It is created by Soden and is apparently a short visual novel between Coney and Top Hat, which are characters, maybe, from a thing, I'm not sure. But we're just gonna jump into it, alright? I don't see audio, but we'll see if any shows up. Let's go. It is currently break time. All the contestants are doing their own business. I should definitely do my own thing as well. I better do something that's worthwhile. Where is me? Is there audio in this game? Am I... Like, is this a me problem? I mean, I don't know. Audio's on, so... What should I do? Well, I think we're supposed to meet Top Hat, so I think that's what you want to do. I need to see if that hat's in the hammock. Wait, hold on. Apologies, I had to close the door. Okay. Dot. Whoa. The Morse code. Here we go. Oh, hey, Cone. Ah, hat at the crime scene as usual. Ah, look who showed up. Question mark. Ah, police, I'm dead. Ah, come on. Ooh. May I sit beside you? Yes, I'd love to. They do that. You know, I'm glad that you came here. Why? Because... Because I was about to fall asleep. What? What does that have to do with me? I mean, Oh. I skipped the thing. I mean, It would be nice if you... use your hand to spin me in our hammock right now. Oh, I mean, I can do that right now. My legs are getting tired anyways. Ah, come on. Cuddle your hat now. Fine. Alright. Now don't wobble or else I paw. Okay. This is cute. It's mildly awkward to read out loud, but it's cute. Smooch. I love you, hat. Smooch. I love you too, Cone. Good ending! Yeah. Thank you so much for playing this game. It means a lot. There we go. That was very short, and it was cute. So this is all correct. But there we go. Yeah. I mean, but is there another ending? Is there an ending that's just kind of like, oh, so sit down and relax? For some reason, my legs start to sore. Need to rest. Ugh. Doo-doo-doo. Nothing will happen, hopefully. It's not like I would explode out of nowhere. Wait, what did I just say? The bad ending. It seems like Murphy's Law got him today. For unexplainable reasons, he exploded out of nowhere. Try again. Alright, there we go. I had the feeling. Alright, well, that's cute. It's, yeah. I mean, there's usually not a lot to say. And I don't know what this is necessarily based out of. That's kind of the question. Like, is this like a thing? Like, cause you know, it's like we got two characters here. We got Coney and we got Top Hat. But like, are these characters from a thing, right? Like, I don't really know, to be honest. Because I am just not I just don't have the knowledge, you know. But that's not necessarily something else. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was a pretty cute story. And yeah, overall, cool. Okay, so we are on mobile, alright, because this is Object Trivia Buds, which was made on, I think, a now obsolete visual novel platform called Coach. Let's see what this is. Yeah. Let's see what I have written so far. I'll be finished soon, you guys, I promise. Day 0. Diary? Comes off as mysterious, probably. He just prefers the hourglass. Comes off as mysterious, probably. He just prefers the quiet. Likes traveling to new places and drawing inspiration from mundane things. Always brings 2 books along, a hardcover copy of Moby Dick and a journal. Very patient, but only because he's so familiar with the exact length of 1 hour. Triangle. Extremely curious and often can't help herself from listening in on conversations. One of those unusual people who love math. Triangled, tri-sided, and tri-limbed. Geometry is her fave topic because she takes every opportunity to learn about and embrace her triangularity. She usually has a book in her hand, so she can be a little clumsy. Shroom, the cute one. Doesn't need limbs to move and can cling to vertical surfaces. Doesn't need to speak either, but everyone in a 10-mile radius can understand how Shroom is feeling anyways. Good networking skills help her out a lot, especially with connections to a network as broad as mycelium. What? Easy to befriend and hard to ignore. Fossil. Slow. You can't just be throwing in mycelium. You can't. What? Fossil. Slow, but steady. A polite soul with a photographic memory. She doesn't mind a simple life watching the world evolve around her, as long as that world still has a place for her. All her limbs come from inside her shell, but she only retracts them in her sleep. She stores candy in her shell. Too. She's so glad that the Cretaceous era fashion isn't in style. What? We're getting thrown some words here. Aloe. He usually goes by Owl for short. Scarily agile for a potted plant with no arms. If he could wear a pair of Ripper Sunnies 24/7, he would. Unfortunately, they melt every time he tries to avoid a question by spontaneously catching on fire. Nobody is sure what his actual personality is, but his neutral presence seems soothing. Cat food. They might feel like flipping their lid whenever things go on out of control. By the way, there is audio. It's too quiet. I'll try to up it, but I don't know. Okay, sorry. Cat food. They might feel like flipping their lid when things go out of control, but they're proud to proclaim that they try their best with a can-do attitude. That attitude can be helpful, but it can also come off as pushy. Do they think of themselves as the main character in a story? Sometimes their charisma feels like a cover for something fishy. I'm so bored. Well then, let's stop being bored. We've only been in this black, colorless void for Shroom is right. Has anyone been counting? Shoot, hourglass, you're an hourglass. How many hours have passed? Sorry, I forgot to turn myself upside down, so I lost count. Don't worry, I know how to spice things up. Let's throw a party. All by ourselves? What will we, do? Dinner. I mean, there's nothing else to do, right? So, party. You party, I guess. Yep. What are they doing? They're partying. Oh. So he's caught by quick. Kick the can. They sing around. They spin. Oh. Question mark. While you humored your good friends, something changed. The air and the ground seem to have finally separated. Something is lying face down in the dirt. Hey, where did this thing come from? Blink, blink. Everyone peers at the stranger, who they just noticed among the bare, cracked soil. They crowd the area like a gaggle of 5-year-olds poking at a half-dead raccoon, unsure of what to make of their situation. Is a thing going to happen? No. The stranger peers back. Hi? Hello. That's Hourglass. He's just shy. I'm Ala, but my fans call me Al. Who are you? I'm... what's your name? They seem to be searching their head for an answer, and struggling to find one. Or Byoga? Triangle, you're smart. Do you know what's wrong? Well, I studied geometry, not neurology, but... Triangle, dear, my blueberry-scented sweetheart, please don't force yourself. My field is psychology, which still isn't quite what we need. However, if they're struggling to answer when asked who they are, they might be experiencing some sort of long-term memory loss. Do you know your name? Do you know what happened? What is this? This is like a... yeah, there's like a variable. There. You won't be in trouble with us if you don't know. Well, that's okay. I'll fill you in. I'm Catfood, and these are my friends. We were just hanging out in this weird place with absolutely nothing in it. It was so boring. Then you showed up, and the scenery just kind of changed. I see so much to do all around me now. You'll play with us, won't you? Sure. How do I do that? Oh my, you don't know? Sorry. This is a cute design. I like this. Right? It's interesting. No need to apologize. It's easy to learn. You can call me Fossil, by the way. It's an activity that can have rules, like when people play games, but it can also be something you make up as you go. Basically, there's not much you need to know. Just do something you find exciting. Exciting? I think I get it. Can we go over there? I guess. Wait, we've never been here before. I tell this blow this joint. I want to find something to do. Is it safe to let this person roam around out in the open? They're disoriented and I don't know what's going on. What if they get lost? If that's what's worrying you, why don't we all go together? You'll fret enough for 10 people. I'm sure it'll be safe for you to look out for them. Just stay close to me, okay, everyone? Alright. They're playing. Maybe. A brick wall? Yeah, that smell is weirdly sterile. What's behind it? Huh. I don't see anything back there except the sky. If what I know about numbers is correct, then that is a number floating next to them, our new friend could potentially hold some interesting powers. I've heard stories of numbers moving entire forests and raising huge towers up from the ground, but since I never saw any proof, they all just sounded like tall tales to me. Bust down the wall for us! You can do it! The stranger visibly strains themselves, but can't do anything to the wall. Hey, the triangle. Hey. Alright, stop. It's okay. Parrots take time to learn. They'll probably take time to relearn, too. Besides, maybe the sign on the wall is important? Password. Huh? What? What do you mean? Where? Well, password is, I don't know. What? The password, John, cheese. Okay. Cheese? Is that so? No matter. You're not ready yet. Wow, you're a talking sign? And you're a talking shape. Fair. I can't decide what volume this should be at. I think that's fine. It's low, but I think it's... right? Yeah, sure. Well, how deep is it? Just barely up to my knees. Come on in. The water's fine. The stranger hesitantly tests the waters with one leg. When an exciting new texture hits their skin, they flinch at first, but... hold on, this music is getting louder. Trying to sort out the volume. When an exciting new texture hits their skin, they flinch at first, but curiously wade into the river. It's been written that meditation and water are wedded forever. There must be some truth to that passage. No, Shroom. Of course that doesn't mean I think whales are fish. They aren't. I don't believe everything I read. There's something about the sky that's really nice. It's... oh! The sky's pink. My favorite color. That's what it is. Oh, are you a girl? What's a girl? What is this interaction? Favorite color is pink equals... I'm a girl, and a cute one, too. Okay, bro. Okay, girl. Oh, then... no? What are you, then? I'm a bunch of squiggly lines? I think you're so much more than that, bud. See, those lines mean something in the world of mathematics. First, let's talk about exponents. Half of you is in the shape of the number 3. Do you know how much 3 is? Or 1 plus 1 plus 1? Yep, but it's not addition doing the work in this case. Let's take your hypothetical one. 1 times 1 times 1. How many times do you multiply it? 3 times? So, it's a power of 3. Right on. Now, this is a radical symbol, also known as a root. It's the opposite of an exponent. Where an exponent exponentially multiplies, a radical exponentially divides. Huh? Instead of multiplying numbers a bunch of times, it divides numbers a bunch of times. When an exponent pairs up with a radical, it becomes an index and tells the radical how many times to divide a number. Let's try an example. A radical symbol with an index of 2 divides a number twice. That's the square root. So I'm a square root, but with 3 instead of a 2? Yep, and a square with one more dimension is a cube. So you're... question mark, unearthed a memory. Oh, they're like figuring themselves out. I'm a cube root! This is cute. I like this asset. Bingo! You wouldn't happen to be one of those equation people, would you? As a polygonal object myself, you and I could be distantly related. Related? You can't just ignore the elephant in the room, though. There's 2 of them. What are they, twins? Well, to be a cube root, the root symbol needs to be an exponent of 3 beside it, or else it would be an entirely different operator, so they're connected somehow. Well, what did we learn today? Were we supposed to learn something? I guess. It's okay to accept that you might be wrong sometimes. If Q-Beard had doubled down on being just squiggly lines, we could have missed out on the opportunity to talk about powers. Man, try. The thing is maybe like one memory and you're already teaching them algebra? Go easy. I thought it was fun. Oh. Tired already? Didn't we just start exploring? To be honest, I lost track of time since I last turned myself over. I know it's been longer than an hour, but the sky hasn't changed at all. I thought it was maybe just a sunset, but sunsets aren't usually this long, are they? No, the average is about 33 minutes. Perhaps we should find a place to stay. When you start getting your powers back, will you play a game with us? My voice. Look, I'm reading visual novels all day. What game? I don't know, just something to kill time. Battling to win a prize is rather trendy lately. What kind of game is a battle? And what's a prize? Where are we going to get one? Is it scary? Does it taste good? Whoa, slow down. I have an idea. Do you like asking questions about anything and everything? Uh-huh. Do you want to help us learn more too? Sure. If we help answer your questions, say, as a game, will you help us figure out where we are? Help us get home, even? Please? For me? Whoa. It hurts. What the hell? What hurts? Come here, let me see. Q-Beard gestures to a spot above their eyes, where it could be logically assumed that their brain would be. Oh, phew. That's just a headache. You scared me. Take a few deep breaths for me, okay? Slowly, Q-Beard breathes in, then out. Did you make those appear out of thin air? Look at that! Your first trick! Q-Beard nods quietly. Huh, if you bring us more, we can build something with these. Oh, I know! Let's do cat food's idea! You like building stuff. Okay. These are a lot of frames. Gotta admit. Using the mysterious yet generic pink bricks, everyone builds a makeshift stage together and dubs it the arena. We hope that this game will give them the strength to see their travels through to the end. So although this world shows no signs of time passing, Cat Food and friends might as well say that another day is done. Day 0. Day like half, right? You wanted to practice your introduction, so here goes. Can you pretend that you're in front of an audience? Yep. Hey everybody, I'm happy to be your hostess with the mostest today. What you laughing at? Nothing. I suppose we'll be calling this place home for a while. Might as well make it livable. I'm tired of sitting on the dirt. Hey Keepster, can't you magic up a beanbag chair or something? Keep concentrates, filling their head with visions of soft things until... Whoa. That's a lot. That's like a lot of things. What are you trying to do? Drown us? Unusual critter. QB, can we talk? Who are you? I'm Triangle. Oh, yeah, now I remember. Hi, Triangle. What? The three-sided shape sets up a canvas in front of the flower shop. Hold on. I've been thinking, can we go over the basics of geometry together? I'm going to point to a shape, and I'd like you to identify it. This might sound simple, but it's important for me to see where you're at. Objective triangle. Teach basic polygons. This is a... Triangle points to two-dimensional shape with 0 sides. Infinite angles, a radius, and a diameter. Circle, right? Right on! This next one is a... Triangle points to a shape with 4 sides and 4 90-degree angles. Half the sides have a different length than the other half. Rectangle, obviously. Okay, so I'd have accepted square for an answer, but you notice that the shape is wider than it is tall. Nice. Now this is a triangle points to a familiar shape with 3 sides and 3 angles. Easy. It's a girl. Okay. Aw, silly little muffin. Maybe you aren't ready for shapes yet. Well, I mean, you said it. To be fair, you did give that wrong information. I mean, you gave correct information. It's a misinterpretation of the information. What are you talking about? I she had 3 sides, just like you. When I said I was a girl, I didn't mean I was that whatever. I didn't mean like that. Triangle is a shape. Girl is a gender. What's a gender? Right, you don't have that where you're from. Does anyone know how to explain? Nope. I don't know how to feel about this. Maybe I'm not capable of something that comes naturally to you. But why are you looking at me like I'll never understand? Well, you didn't understand. None of us would have mixed up girls with triangles. Because you said you were a girl without explaining what a girl was. I know I'm struggling here, and I appreciate anything you've done to help, but I'm not your kid. Whoa. Cube? Holy. Well, suck it up, stupid. You wouldn't be in this position if you didn't deserve it. If you weren't so childish, you wouldn't need an explanation. Cube unearthed a memory. Huh? You talk? Oh, so you have one body that's connected somehow, but you're your own person. You must be Cube. That wasn't very nice. Little exponent, apologize. I'm just saying what they're too scared to admit they're thinking. Well, stop it. We don't need any mind readers. Besides, you're right the first time. Sorry if I take something I already know for granted. None of us know where we are right now, and we all deserve to find out. By the way, in case you were still wondering... Objective, teach basic polygons complete. Let's go. Triangles are the simplest true polygon. 3 sides, 3 angles, and 3 points. If a shape somehow has less than that, one of the lines would have to be curved. Non-straight lines simply won't do for a polygon. That barely survives in the text. I'm not trying to treat you like a kid, but I'd be happy to have you as a student. Neat. I accept. What? Maybe spending some time with a broken brain will humble you, Root. But don't try and act like you're someone else. I know you're still in there, and you are who you've always been. All you can do is change the definition of what that means. What? Huh? It doesn't not... Wait. What is that sentence? You can change what you can change the definition of what you've been? I mean, I guess, right? Would that not be just changing what you are? Okay, I don't know. I just decided that the first challenge will start right now. Hi everybody, I'm happy to be your hostess with the mostest today. Okay, I'm sorry. Are you Roots or are you Cube Root? This is weird. Because, like, Cube and Root separate when they're talking. So, Root is talking here, but it's said Cube Root. That's weird. Okay. Why are leaves green? Why aren't clouds white? Why are rivers cold? Where did we come from? Why are we here? Where are we going? Does anyone know? That's what we're here to find out. I'll give out a question for you to answer in the first half of the challenge. In the second half, I'll give an answer, but you have to figure out the question. Whoever has the least points at the end is intimidated. Don't you mean eliminated? Oh, don't forget Rainbow 9 Cat. Shroom's right. What is the prize? That. An axe. This knife I found. Who let them have that? They found it themselves, remember? Come on, what's so scare about a sharp object that's been lying on the ground? A certain someone inspired me to ask a geometric question today. Ooh. Write your answer down and submit it here. Whatever you write, just make it sincere. Contestant's honor. I promise we'll be here. Okay, so every shape has at least one side, right? And different shapes have a different amount of sides, right? But why? What is a side? What's a side? A side is just a side. No need to explain it. Well, the side is like a door. You're either inside or outside, right? A side is really more like a wall. Oh, I know this one. A side is a line that connects 2 points of a two-dimensional shape. A boundary that divides one shape from another? Alright, submissions are in. Oh no, I forgot to write this part of the script. How do we decide how many points to give out? Let me do the honors. Suddenly, the presence of a large scoreboard nearby becomes apparent. Everyone's submitted answers have been lovingly taped on. Sorry, cat food. If you submitted a blank piece of paper, you don't get any points. Alright, Hourglass and Fossil get 5 points. Didn't explain much, but they're on the right track. Shroom gets 10 points for thoroughly explaining the difference between a 2D face side and a 3D face. And whoa! 30 points for Triangle. If points didn't reset between challenges, it would almost be unfair to give you this many. Triangle? What came over me, Fossil? I just want to solve equations with them and pinch their cheeks and keep them out of harm's way by my side forever. I swear we could be related. I've seen portraits of my great-great-grandmother. She was a cuboid too, with eyes just like theirs. I just met them, but they feel like my closest family now, second only to maybe Pew. Well, it's sweet that you care about them so much, but you got to let them be their own person. I know, they're not my kid. No one is. My doctor said it was impossible. Right. That would have come out of nowhere if... Wait. What? Right. That would have come out of nowhere if I wasn't there when you got the news. It'll be alright. I'm sorry. You can vent to me. Why did I have to latch on so fast? Why do I always latch on so fast? Even though I know it isn't rational, I just find my mind wandering. Who is going to keep my memory alive after I'm gone? What would I leave behind? Oh, Triangle. You know a lot about shapes. That's for sure. I don't think I'll ever forget what a scutoid is now, and I couldn't be happier for it. So, what did we learn today? You're enough. Finding a surrogate child just to carry on your memories wouldn't do either of you justice. You'll be remembered because we love you, dear. What is this button at the top? Do I click it? Is it time? Let's click it. Party 1, unparty 0, password cheese. Oh, these are just the these are the variables of what we have done. Okay, yeah. This is cute. Kubrick grabs a sheet of paper with a pentagon scrawled on it, holding it securely in one of their mouths. That's a question? Nope, it's the answer. You gotta find out the question. So it's like, okay, I get it. What pattern does a soccer ball have? Nuh-uh. What's a soccer ball? A hint costs half of your current points. Do you want to buy one? Why not? Okay, pleasure doing business with you. But remember, if you buy a hint, every other contestant will learn it too. Hey guys, the question is about numbers. What shape has 5 sides? You're close, cat food. You can have a point. Finally! Yay! You're right. 5 angles and 5 points of shroom. But that means... Aw, cat food. I'm sorry. You only have 1 point. It looks like you're the first contestant to be exfoliated. Eliminated. I'm eliminated? What happens now? What's the punishment? Huh? There's no punishment. Just can't compete anymore. Do you want to sit down and watch while the next challenge starts? Okay. Can we play hide and seek? Can we? I mean, if Catfu's the seeker, that would be pretty good. I'll be down. Day 0 plus 2 minus 2. Okay, bro. What is happening? What is happening, dude? A dream takes hold of you one night. If it even is night. You aren't sure when you fell asleep. Or if you're really asleep at all. You crunch over dead leaves through a sea of bare black trees. Cat food is trailing behind you, but everyone else treks ahead. Shroom decides to burrow into some bark and disappears. Didn't you see that tree a minute ago? Where are you going? The path only goes in one direction, but you can't tell whether you're walking north or south. Despite its bright light, the sky is sunless. Triangle shivers. The wind is gnashing its frozen teeth even harder. Now she's huddling behind a tree, trying to warm her hand with her breath. Fossil stops and floats back, unable to stomach the thought of leaving her behind. Fear is an emotion with both psychological and physical effects. It begins when the... That is a word. Yes, I wasn't expecting to read it. It begins when the amygdala is triggered and sends the hypothalamus a signal to release adrenaline and cortisol, among other hormones. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn. One incident could set off wildly different responses in different people. Sustaining any of them for long periods of time can be damaging, but acknowledging fear is an important step in detecting danger. You feel the urge to look over your shoulder and see how far you've gotten creep up on you, but you stifle it. Better to face certain doom from the front of uncertain doom from behind, you suppose. Why are you on this trail? What are you looking for? You only know that you need to find it soon. Al is the last one still trying to follow the path. He stands over cat food, hugging their knees in pain, nudging them in an effort to push them ahead. His legs give out 5 minutes later. The sound of crunching leaves draws nearer, even though no one is walking anymore. You recognize the silhouette ahead. How did Cubu get here of all places? They're staring at you with all the confusion and sheer utter petrification of a deer in the headlights. Nothing around you looks any different, but you catch a whiff of something familiar and instantly remember where you've encountered it before. It smells like a festival in the city. The thick scent filling your lungs soothes your tense nerves so suddenly that you almost forget to look behind you. You taste metal. What was any of that? What am I reading? Okay. There you are. Oh, you look like a mess. What's wrong with him? I think he just fell asleep. Hourglass stands up and groggily rubs the top of its glass surface. Hourglass! Don't wander off like that ever again. You're worried sick. Let's go home. Everyone's cold. Fossil. Can I trust you to take me seriously? Why not? We're friends after all. I'll hear you out. That's what plagues me. Are we really friends? Or just sticking together so as to not get lost? I had a dream. None of it made sense, but it felt familiar in some weird way. I'm afraid. Fossil doesn't entirely understand the context of such a serious question over what seems to be just a weird dream, but tries to be supportive nonetheless. Fossil. There. It was only a dream. You're gonna be alright. Do you want to talk about it? All of us got lost in the woods, and I don't know which part of the woods because the trees were too close together to see much of anything. Kafu was lagging behind, and I don't know why, considering they're no less athletic than the rest of us. Don't know if that counts as a compliment, but I'll take it. One by one, you lost the strength to keep looking for whatever it was. I just know it pulled us forward like strings and made my stomach churn. Even when you were in too much pain to walk anymore, you dragged each other up the trail. Then, when I was the last one standing, I saw Kubrick out of nowhere and smelled something familiar. A face without a body shot blinding light at me. My mouth felt full of blood. And then I woke up. Okay. There's a lot of dots. A lot of dots. Wow, you tell good stories. 10 points for you. I wasn't aware we had already started the next challenge. After Hourglass was found, everyone gathered around back at the abandoned flower shop. Everyone except for Al and Triangle, who decided to experiment with their prevailing situation. I can't believe you actually watered me with that stuff. I am so sorry. I guess it didn't taste that bad. Well, guess I found out why all the trees around here are dead. Remember that river we played in once? That water is extremely polluted. It's not safe to drink. So? Dehydration is a serious problem, QB. QB. Most people can only make it about 3 days without water. Make it to where? Make it to... How do I explain this? If you don't make it, you stop walking and talking and thinking forever. It's called being dead. No, don't go, Cube. Just use those weird powers that make us water. Cube used her eyes that sparkle with a colorful glowing energy and blink. Water manifests inside a bucket in the gazebo shelf. A big cold hunk of it, in a solid state of tightly packed, barely moving molecules. This is ice. I can warm it up for you. Can you try again? You have to, please. Cube strains their eyes and struggles to repeat their trick, but nothing happens. They seem to be low on energy. Oh. Today's challenge is to, wait here. Your dream won't come true if I go instead, right? Wait, that wasn't what I... It wasn't just... When we separated it... They're gone. Oh dear. Wait, come back! Fossil grabs Triangle's arm before she's able to run off into the woods alone. Triangle, stay with me. I have to agree. It'd be dangerous to split up more than we have already. Yeah, this is... whatever. Yeah, you're... whatever. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, we're fine. What is this writing? Hey! You don't have to be in the arena to get points, do ya? QB already set that precedent. Who's up for a game? New objective. Find clean water. The breeze is a little chilly in the woods, but not too harsh yet. Cube suspects the two of them have been going in circles. You've really gone and screwed up now, Root. Hey, don't act like you weren't curious too. Playing around with powers you don't understand. Now fast a mathematical operator I know and loathe. Why? I'm afraid I can't share all of my thoughts with you yet. You've got to get stronger so you can read my mind as well as I can read yours. Why are you mad at me? You gave me all your anger, dipshit. You aren't letting yourself have any. Okay. Get mad or nothing. We will try to get mad, right? We'll be like, no, I can get mad. And then tries to get mad. But fine, take this. Root kicks a nearby tree, flinching at the shock of their own power. They watch as it hit the ground, bringing down more trees in its wake as though the forest was an unstable house of cards. A clearer trail is revealed when the dust settles, giving way to something shiny. In Cubu's absence, the others reluctantly decide to stay close to home base. Unable and unwilling to wait, Catfood is taken over as host. Catfood, wait, what's the point of this game if Cube and Root aren't here to remember anything? They'll come back alive, I know they will. You have to wait for them, please. Hahaha, some crowd today, huh? Let's shake it up. Why don't you pick a category? Comics or mystery topic, yeah. I know I'm excited for the Ice Them Out, aren't you? It would feel great to use up the whole bucket at once. We've got to make sure everyone gets some. Name one ailment under the sun that can't be cured with a hot bath. Rabies? Good one. 5 points. Heartbreak? Well, I've seen many a heartache after a good steak, 1 point? 3 words. First degree burns. Ew, I don't even want to think about that. 20 points for making me cringe. Death? That's technically an ailment. Sure. 5 points. Shroom, you're up next. Oh, I can shoot what Shroom does? A spin in place. Spinning isn't an ailment as far as I know, but great enthusiasm. 5 points. In the woods, the two wanderers hop and float their way over fallen trees until they come across a tall pole surrounded by yellow and black ribbons. A pair of copper scales swing from their tall base before cubic, turning greenish from oxidation. Something's written on the left side. 1 and 2. The index hovers around the one on the right. It's a pair of scales. The other scale says 6 and 1. What are these, directions? There's 6 trees over there, so let's go that way. East? If that way is east, then yeah. You don't know which way is east, do you? I'll figure it out. Back at the abandoned flower shop, Al and Fossil sit down to reminisce in between rounds. Why are you such a good listener? I was a therapist before we ended up here, so I suppose it's just my job? Well, it's not like you're getting paid for this now. True. So, you're okay with just kind of being there. How do you do it? That's a good question. Maybe just take some patience. Or perhaps my fossil instincts just kick in and I understand that the future will arrive regardless of what I do, because the passage of time is inevitable. That's a possibility. Don't you mean a possibility? A gust of bitter wind dances through the trees. Man, is it cold here or what? That's an odd question to ask. I don't think the temperature changed. But I know thermometer. Do you all miss home? Aloe sighs. You mean the city or where we grew up? Where it was always warm? Good question. I believe I know where you mean. Perhaps it could be both. Maybe I've always been a city slicker. Though, I can't really relate. Of course you're used to it, Shroom. You've got the temperature force in your blood, or mycelium, or whatever it is you have. Cat food barges into the conversation. Time for round 2. After a lot of arguing and walking around in circles, the wandering twin hosts eventually come across a clearing among the dried, dead woods. Phew, look, a music box. A note has been taped on the inside of the lid. It may be a teacher, but fear is no sword. Your choice of weapon will grow clearer when given a second glance. Cubert unearthed a memory. Cube, did you just remember something? No, why do you ask? Never mind. Ah, cat food, you pursued a white well of attention to no end. But why? What makes you tick? I dreamed about getting lost in the woods too, alright? You guys kept telling me to go back because the weather was freezing, but there was, I don't know, something I hoped I would find in there. Okay, but what? Hehe, that's for me to know and for you to find out. I don't understand what looking at the answer and guessing the question means, so I'm gonna ask you about the rule of threes. For some reason, concepts or phenomena grouped into a trio are more memorable, and sometimes even symbolic of a narrative. So for this challenge, name something that comes in threes. Shroom spins thrice. What do you mean, 3 endings? The world never ends. Space and time is constantly shifting. Plus, even if it did end, only one of us can win. Silly. 3 points. Bro. 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter from harsh temperatures, and 3 days without water. Boy, you're morbid. 6 points. Let's say you have 3 numbers. If you know 2 of them are proportional, meaning that if one increases, the other increases at the same rate, you can use a process called the rule of threes on the 3rd number to find out what the 4th one is. Classic triangle, 6 points. Some flowers have 3 petals, like, I don't know, an iris. How did you know about my passion for botany? 9 points. 30 seconds before I pick you up in my arms and politely but firmly ask you to leave. Okay, I get it. We're done. Sheesh. Bro, you need to stop asking me these questions. I don't know. Is there any chance I would know this? It's like 3. What was the idea? Like 3 of 6, and then there was like something that it was telling me about, right? Like the rule of threes, third sixes or whatever. Cube root. That's the password. Let's say that. I see. Deep in the woods, Cube and Root examined the music box. Hey, it's attached to a... What is that? That's a well, but it has water down there. Hungry. A yeek! What is this? A yeek! Don't eat us! I won't eat a thing that doesn't fall in. Not a thing. Who are you? Come on. Never seen a well before. Toss some grub down here and you'll get a wish granted. Cube, what do we feed it? Memories. You want us to give you memories? You only have to... Look down. Behold, an interactive area. Tap or clip a certain object to continue. Let's pick the least suspecting one. This one. What do I... Huh? Do I need to click you? Okay, I do. I need to click the colorful one. The tadpole is the only critter not wrecked up to bits. So Cube delicately picks it up by the tail. The thing appears to be an uncannily lifelike toy. Upon falling into the well, it makes a tiny splash, then a gurgle. Please, well, our friends need water. Our one wish is for you to get full. Cube shows Root how to lower the bucket, tied to the rope, down the deep, dark well. Returns to the host... oh, fuck. No, sorry. Returns to the host empty and dry. Shoot. Should have known it was a scam. Listen, you don't look too good. Stay with me, alright? We gotta get out of these woods before we both freeze. Not until you give me a password. What is the password? Cheese cube root trowel. A trowel? Is that... Okay. Let's think about this. Should I answer with my password? Should I answer with trowel, which is the only one which isn't a password? Which isn't a password I wrote down. I wanna find out if it's my password. Cheese. Nothing interesting happens. Damn it. Hourglass, I hereby pronounce you eliminated. Why me? Cube gave me 10 points at the start. Should have got 8 points. Shouldn't he be out? My show now. Show? Thought we were only playing. Just leave me alone. They scamper off to home base, and Hourglass heaves a deep sigh. Cat food, come back. Apologize to Hourglass. You're still a friend, but you need to hold yourself accountable. We all do. They're gone. I don't think my dream was about walking through the woods after all. It doesn't matter. I feel like cat food won't appreciate what I have to say regardless. If you can't get home, I'll never be a real offer. That thought upsets me enough. And now... Oh, Hourglass, listen. I think you tell things in a very compelling manner. You really mean everything you say, don't you? Your sincerity makes your stories more meaningful. Yep, If you ask me, Catfried is jealous that you don't feel the need to pretend to be anyone you're not. Shroom nods the airhead in agreement. So does Aloe. I like how Shroom was here. Remember, How to Be a Clock? Sure, it didn't get very popular, but you published it anyways. If that's not making of a real offer, what is? Oh, I skimmed that one. It's about the linearity of time or something. Like how time is perceived by everyone differently, so it has no actual physical form. Ow, you read Hourglass's books? Of course, I'm not a huge reader or anything, but I always support my bro. Thanks, everyone. With you guys on my side, I don't even mind being eliminated. After all, it's going to make for one hilarious story. Kubrick hops out of the woods. The contestants stare at them as though they have two heads, because they do. Fair enough. Eek! What kind of book is that? Dude, we need to stop with these sounds. Oh, a fossil. It's going to be alright. This looks like a juvenile frog. How is that better? Frogs can't fly, silly. Hehe, it's slimy. Wait, don't poke it. Kubrick tries to say they found a water source, but all they can do is let out a little croak. Objective, collect clean water, failed. Just like that, they wake up in an unfamiliar bed. Conscious enough to hear, but unable to lift their eyelids. A surge of whiplash punches their gut. Someone nearby is watching television. Before this case closes, I'd like to reiterate. Look at the evidence one more time. Our bottle friend may have already pled guilty to the involuntary manslaughter, but the debris found at the scene seems to suggest that another party could have been involved after all. Who the hell brings a knife to a car crash? Charles Goodman, attorney at law, out. Okay, I guess that's the password. Well, look, I was hoping it was cheese. Okay? The TV goes silent. Whoever just shut it off is now taking their temperature. The sound of confused sighs indicate that she's struggling. You start to get a good reading when you're ectothermic. What is that word? Ending I1. Tadpole. Don't worry. Hoppiness is subjective. Whew. Even knowing what our host did to get here, I personally can help but feel the urge to pick them up like a stuffed animal. What happens after this ending? All of these endings really is going to be hard. It's hard to own up to something you regret doing, especially if you can to undo the damage. It's especially hard not to give up on seeking help. But once you find something that helps, or someone who cares, I promise it will all be worth the effort. Even if you don't find anything at all, it's still worth the effort because it shows that you care about yourself and others enough to keep trying. If you'd like to see more endings, I hope you'll continue to support my art. More than anything else, this is a passion project inspired by my favorite visual novels and object shows. So, unfortunately, I can't set a release date because I only work on this in my free time. If you want a little extra factoid, the average length of the human small intestine is 22 feet. That's crazy, right? Yeah, pretty crazy. Also, sorry there wasn't much in the way of audio. Admittedly, I'm an amateur who doesn't actually know how to read sheet music, but I understand the feel music aspect of the project and really wanted this visual novel to have a feel to it that only someone who made it could give. The one track I didn't make is dove_music_globe. Globe? No. Oh, what, bro. The one track I didn't make is dove_music_globe. I can't find the actual name of the song or who composed it. It's a recording of a snow globe music box that I no longer have. Okay, bad thing. If you know any more information about this song, please tell me. It means a lot to me sentimentally, and I won't even think about monetizing this project until I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't read it. There should be a whole soundtrack in the description. I hate to be the type of guy who always talks about their SoundCloud, but life finds a way, doesn't it? Thank you for playing my demo, and have a very belated Happy New Year. Well, that's cool. That's a nice little thing. It's is it the best visual novel? It's a little okay. I'm gonna lower this down because what is this music? Okay, so that is an intriguing little thing. I gotta admit, I was how do I describe this? It was interesting. It did feel a little bit chronologically like confused in a way, where like there's too many things that are kind of I feel like it maybe suffers a little bit from assumed knowledge a little bit much, right, where like it ends up kind of troubling itself by by like switching from like dream to past to this person, that person, and now there's this competition, now there's this thing and that thing, and detail that we don't know, and detail that we don't know, right? And like it makes for like an experience that I must admit isn't exactly the most coherent. Like I didn't like there were a lot of times where I was reading stuff and I would just like what I didn't know what it was coming from. To be honest, like I didn't really know what it was coming from, but it was a nice little thing to read. It's one of those things where like personally I always find it weird to play indie games like this. Not for anything against the indie game, it's just that like it's doesn't it feel weird to see such like a passion project that's in a like a dead state, you know? Like in that kind of like in that interesting like it just has one of these things where like now that it's just not a thing, you know, it's interesting to see this kind of recollection from the fact from when it was, you know, which makes for a little bit of a of an intriguing little situation. You know, I mean, I think the program that this is made on is dead, right? Like I downloaded an APK, but like I don't think you can get it off the App Store, anyways. So I just find these like an extremely interesting time capsule. Like reading that final note is it's very very interesting because yeah, it's just a bit yeah, it's just kind of different. And yeah, overall, I mean, look, this is of course a over 3 year old project that I don't think has been updated in over 2 years. However, despite the factoid that, of course, you know, this is a first ever game made 3 years ago that was not continued. Um, it's if somehow we reach the creator of this visual novel, okay, if we somehow reach the creator of this visual novel, um, what I will say is that yeah, for any future projects, I would just say try to you know give a little bit more general context. Before like yeah, the mystery is cool, but especially without considering there weren't. I mean, like the visuals that were there were cool. However, for like the dreamlike sequences, right, there was just a black screen, right? Like so, it's like there wasn't much. So like I didn't even know it was a dream until they woke up and they said it was a dream. Because otherwise, I didn't know what it was. Like, what do you mean? We were running into the forest. For a minute, I thought we were playing hide and seek. That had like, oh, like I'm gonna be honest. That was the perception. That was what I originally thought. I thought we were playing hide and seek there for a moment, right? It's like, can we play hide and seek? Yes. And then they're randomly running up hills and falling down. Like, for a minute, I thought, wait a minute, why are they playing hide and seek and now everything's evil? Right? Like, I was wondering for a minute, but then it was like, okay, this is a dream. Like, you see, it's kind of like I feel like a little bit more content would be more useful. However, again, absolutely remember, I am a visual novel noob. I do not play visual novels. Not anything against visual novels. I actually really enjoy visual novels, but I just kind of don't play them. It's just not a genre that I seek out much, right? But so, I mean, this is cool. And there's some there's some cool details all around. I guess I'll give a final addendum to this video. There we go. There's a couple of examples of object show visual novels. We have played them through. I tried to keep it to the kind of smaller ones, the ones that were mostly confined to themselves and didn't rely on necessarily external media knowledge, just so that we can have this kind of video. In terms of what I generally thought of them, I actually really enjoyed today playing these three shorts. I thought that all of them were fun. I thought that all of them were fun games. Looking at one last time, as a very intriguing little thing, a story that has a lot of potential. The way that it kind of sets itself immediately makes me think that, of course, it's gonna be that type of emotionally compelling story with many things going on, right? And a lot of very cool art, very cool ideas, and interesting things going on, right? It's that type of story where, like, again, I'm like, dude, like I can already imagine it. However, it's a super early days. It's very prototype. It's very like, do you believe in the vision? I personally believe in the vision. It's kind of it's relatively new project. I think, I don't know when it was released, but like it's a relatively newish project with like a lot of room for history, right? History of this is being built. So I'm gonna say it. All right, I'm gonna say it. I think there is absolutely a possibility that if One Last Time gets more things to happen, which no idea if that'll ever happen, but like if it does, I might check it out. I might check it out. I absolutely will. I would say that I'm relatively convinced by what I saw with it. Then you have things like the short story show, which is cute. I like it. It's another relatively recent thing. From I think November, right? It's a nice little story, and I think it's also good, right, to have that type of story, that type of more like unrequited romance, right? That allows it there, and I personally kind of enjoyed it and found it to be to be pretty enjoyable, with, again, a nice powerful of art style. One Last Time also did it with art style. I think that, yeah, being capable of like really showing off your art style is nice, because in a way, object shows in their animated selves sometimes struggle to really art style themselves, because, right, they have this consistent struggle to animate, to make the movement. But with a visual novel, having to not do as many frames, right, allows you to kind of go a bit more bonkers with styling, because you don't need to animate it as much, and that gives in a lot of freedom for an art style to be different. And I think that's one of, like, if an official visual novel is being made, like, absolutely, I'm saying, like, if you call your own style, like, it can absolutely be one of the strongest elements. And in terms of like, should there be more? I mean, I don't know. This is like, it was a simple thing made to be made in like 3 seconds. I mean, I don't necessarily say, but hey, if there's more, look, if there's more cone and top hat content, I ain't again. That's cool with me. That's yeah. I don't mind that. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I would be down. I'd be hella down. And in terms of seeing something a little bit older, of course, with the Best Object Trivia Buds. Interesting little premise. It's the one with the most kind of rough edges to it. Absolutely. I mean, nothing wrong with it. It's also definitely due of the program, right? Is due of the program. I mean, like, of course, immediate perception is like, hey, is this a possible thing to remake in something like ren'py or ren'py, or like, the visual novel creator? I mean, like, that could be pretty interesting. All I'm saying, I mean, like, that could be pretty cool. Like, because the art is solid, the audio was there, but it had a little bit of a disappearing and looping thing, but then that sorted out with the program, like, like, I mean, I don't know how hard it is, but like, if we got the art and we got the script and we got the thing, then, we could possibly turn point A to point B and get the project onto ren'py maybe, and then we would have a visual novel, with like more custom stuff going on and less kind of bugs and things. Like, I mean, I know that it's a 3-year-old scrapped project, but all I'm saying is that, why don't we get to see this 3-year-old scrap project come to life? Think about it. Think about it. I don't know why I'm talking as if the creator is listening, but think about it. Wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be sick as fuck? That's my pitch. All I'm saying is that I think that there's a lot of cool. I think that there's a lot of cool ideas. I think there's a lot of cute ideas. I think there's a lot of possibility that even if this isn't a project that ends up continuing, I do think that it's a project that could be worth escaping out of the shackles of a dead Android app. Like come on. But that's all that I have to say for the visual novels that we took a look at. Uh, if the video was overall enjoyable, if you liked it, if you're listening to this, and if you liked it, that is nowhere near to every visual novel about object shows ever made. There are more, and I could check them out. I could do that. I could. Should I? I don't know, but I could. And yeah, let me know if you enjoy the content or not. But yeah, I just want to drop by a little bit of a different video, at least a video, right? Because it's been quite a bit since I've actually properly dropped by a video. So yeah, I also didn't try to. I didn't try hard too much on the voice acting just to kind of not cringe anybody out. No, because like I think my voice acting is fine, but well, I don't know about super long periods of it. And then also, if somebody doesn't like it, I wanted to give it a relatively chilled out read through. All right, so that was kind of my go with it. I have talked so much. I'm gonna stop talking now. All right. That is that. Let's close it out. Goodbye.